All right, welcome. So this video is healing your brain from addiction. So we're going to cover how you can actually start to heal your brain from addiction, both your state of mind and your craving for the addiction, as well as your ability to feel pleasure, joy, and stimulation from regular day activities again. So before we get into the video, for those of you who are new on self-improvement and want to fast-pace your progress on this journey or just don't know how to get started, you can go ahead and click the top link in my description to join my Academy of Self-Mastery, where I'm going to teach you all of the tools within self-improvement and how to implement each of them specific to your goals. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead, that top link in the description will get you where you want to go. But to start off this video, I really just want to talk about why nothing really feels fun when you are addicted to whatever it is you're addicted to. So this can include any of the normal, typical modern day addictions. So we can talk about social media, we can talk about drugs and alcohol, we can talk about sex and porn, and we can talk about many, many others. Junk food is one of them, caffeine is one of them, nicotine, a lot of people are addicted to nicotine now. That is one I forget to mention a lot of times because I've never personally dealt with a nicotine addiction, but that is also a very common one out there. So why does nothing else feel as fun or stimulated when you are addicted to these things? The main reason is dopamine. So when we get these big spikes of dopamine, which we tend to get from things like social media or drugs, these big spikes of dopamine then lead to a drop in our baseline of dopamine below the natural levels, right? So what this means is when we indulge in these things consistently over long periods of time, we're basically, yes, getting the highs, but over time we're tanking our baselines of dopamine. We're tanking our baseline way down, meaning we essentially receive less enjoyment and less pleasure from the same amount of dopamine that we did before. Another way to look at this is basically our receptors become less sensitive. So the same amount of dopamine that would have once invoked a response now doesn't, because of the fact that we require more dopamine to feel the same level of stimulation. So we are essentially using whatever addiction at this point in our addiction, we are now using it as a source of baseline pleasure, baseline enjoyment, not a high anymore. And so we are using it to get to our baseline, what was our old baseline of pleasure and enjoyment, and slowly over time continuing to tank lower and lower down that trend. Basically meaning the longer we're addicted to whatever we're addicted to, the lower our baseline of dopamine gets, the lower our sensitivity to dopamine gets, and therefore the less enjoyment we can actually receive and experience within other day-to-day activities. So breaking the loop of addiction and the process of restoring balance. When we begin to actually transition from this addiction to breaking that addiction and living a sober lifestyle, living a dopamine detox type of lifestyle or a self-improvement lifestyle, or if you just you could live a normal life, but just removing the addiction from that life, whatever it is you're specifically pursuing. When we make the decision to make that change, the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to feel a level of resistance to letting the thing go. And this is where most people get stuck. This is where most people stop, is this feeling of resistance to letting it go. You don't have to battle with this in your mind. You don't have to battle with this physically by throwing everything out and resisting it. The simple way to battle this is to just embrace it and let it be felt, let it be heard, essentially. So this is your addicted voice, your addicted brain telling you that it is now in pain because you are resisting the thing that it has been so attached to for so long. And by resisting it and fighting it, you go unconscious to it, and it does take over in the end. So most people who try to fight this resistance do fail. Now, the way we do break this loop is by just allowing ourselves to enter a different state of being, enter a different state of mind. And so this is how we're actually going to heal our brain through this recovery process is by shifting our state of mind to a different identity so that we can start to build and develop new neural pathways that allow us to, as I said, heal the brain from the damage done by addiction. So the way we break the chain is by shifting our identity to somebody who doesn't do the thing we're trying to avoid, not by resisting the cravings to the thing or even resisting a slip up on the old addiction, just focusing on constantly trying to keep yourself in the state of this new identity, keep your mind fixated on this new identity, but also align as many of your actions as possible to this new identity. And so when we do eventually break that addiction, when we do eventually get into this process of healing and recovery, what is going to happen is we're going to go through a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, and a lot of discomfort. And this is all natural and this is all essential, right? Because this is the process for your body and brain to start healing and restoring a level balance of dopamine in the brain, as well as a level balance of any other neurochemicals that might have been disrupted. So for example, if you were addicted to eating sugar, or any type of junk food for that matter, but mainly sugar is going to cause the most gut problems, that and maybe like seed oils for inflammation, right? So if you're eating a lot of seed oils and sugar, that's what your diet is high in. Well, when you quit eating these things, your stomach is going to go through a lot of pain. You're going to feel a lot of stomach cramping, stomach pains, but none of this is bad because it's actually your body restoring and recovering a level balance of your gut microbiome is essentially out of whack. It's restoring a stable gut microbiome. So this pain and this discomfort that we face throughout the recovery process is actually a good thing, and we need to view it as such. So this section is going to be how to heal your brain through meditation, breathwork, journaling, exercise, and learning/building new skills. So when we do quit the addiction, right, when we have finally broken that chain and we've started to enter into this new life, we need something to replace the addiction with. If it was something like smoking weed or it was something like scrolling on social media, usually these things for someone like a stoner who's smoking all day, or for most people who are on social media a lot, these things take up multiple hours of the day, if not a very large portion of the day. And so what happens when we quit these addictions is we now have all of this time available again. And the issue for most people is they end up getting bored, which drives them back to the addiction they originally quit. So what do we do instead? Instead of going back to the original addiction that we've now removed from our lives and severed the tie to, what do we replace them with? And what are some things that we can replace it with that may assist us and help us in progressing on this recovery process, right? So actually like making progress through our recovery and starting to heal our brain, restore our habits and our identity, things like this. So meditation is going to be one of the key factors for this. Meditation is going to help you to become aware of yourself again, become aware of your body and your mind. It's going to help you to control and direct your mind's energy, so therefore you won't be as caught up in cravings and things like that. Another bonus of meditation is it's going to help you to internally identify different blockages or different flaws or different points of damage in your brain or your body that are going to block you from making progress on your journey. So with meditation, we're going to be able to identify the specific things that are damaged, the specific things that are going wrong, and therefore work to heal and restore those things. It's also going to help us with the cravings, because when we have awareness of our desires and our impulses and this ability to control them, well then when we get the craving or the desire for one of our addictions, we can just redirect our mind back to what is important. The next thing is breathwork. Breathwork is going to help you to heal the nervous system. Breathwork is also going to help you to learn to control your body, control your nervous system, control your brain and your mind, and direct its energy. As well as breathwork is going to be a direct way for you to start to restore balance in your body. It will help you to actually heal your brain, because more oxygen will help you to heal the brain, as well as control over the breath will help you in this healing process as well. The next thing is journaling. So journaling and writing about all of the things that are stuck in your mind, that are trapped in your head and that you need to get out. Writing about your journey, writing about your process will help you to, as I said, process these things and actually like get them to go from just thoughts to a genuine understanding of what is happening, what is actually going on in your body and in your mind. The next thing is exercise. So exercise is going to be key. It's going to both give you something to do, but it's also going to be key for getting any energy out during this process, as well as it's going to help you to heal your brain, heal your body. And getting moving is another way to stimulate your brain in a similar way to what the old addictions might have been. And the last thing I have is learning and building skills. This will help you to build new neural pathways in your brain, which will help to restore a healthy state of mind. And it will help to start to build your brain back up and start to heal some of the damage that's been done over time. All right, by growing your brain, you will essentially be able to offset any of the damage that was done. But that means you have to be growing your brain consistently over a long period of time. You can't just learn one thing and think you're done. You'll have to be in the state of constantly growing and evolving and trying to learn new things to grow your brain even more. And this is something that everybody should strive for, regardless of an addiction prior. So the last thing I have is teaching your brain to crave the rewards of delayed gratification. So when we actually quit, when we get off of this addiction, whatever the addiction was for us, our brain is going to constantly be trying to get us to slip back. And so the way we avoid this is by teaching our brain to consciously alter the addiction or the craving that we're having. So for example, I had an addiction to sugar for a period of time, right? I was addicted to eating sugar and drinking energy drinks. So recently I've been able to start fasting to quit off of the sugar, and what has happened since my fast is, since I've been eating again, my body is starting to have those same cravings as it did before. So the way that I redirect myself is by either embracing the fast and allowing myself to just be fasted, or what I will do is I will either eat a tablespoon of honey, which is sugar, yes, but it is a different form of sugar, and it is a form of sugar that is actually a part of my current diet that I'm following, and so therefore it's something that is in alignment with the diet that I have, but that serves a similar need to what the candy would or the sugar would, right? And same thing with energy drinks. Energy drinks, you don't need energy drinks. You can just go outside in the sun. You can exercise. There are many, many, many ways to get energy. Breath work is one of them. So there are many ways to stimulate energy throughout the day if you need that. But really, the main thing is fruit. If you eat fruit or honey, you'll get some energy, some of an energy boost. But really, you don't need these things, these extra things. They're just nice to have. And so what you do is you allow your brain to, you redirect your brain from craving the thing that you don't want to be indulging in, to allowing the craving to subside and just aligning yourself with where you want to be instead of giving into that craving. And so this might not make a lot of sense to those who haven't experienced this process. I know I heard people talking like this for years on end, and I was just like, it's really not that simple. But it's difficult to explain it any other way because it is that simple. It just takes consistently working at it in order to figure out how to do it properly. So meditation is going to be key with this because it'll help you to learn how to redirect your focus onto what matters. So what helps me is I think about, what do I care about more, right? Do I want to eat the sugar now, or do I want a healthy body? Do I want to be fit? Do I want my brain to work properly? Or do I not care so much about those things and just want pleasure and enjoyment now? So basically, when you allow your brain to focus on the rewards of delayed gratification, they can replace the rewards of the instant gratification, and so therefore you're able to break this chain and permanently break it by keeping your mind focused on these long-term rewards instead. So that is all I have for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. For those of you who are interested in the Academy of Self-Mastery, click that first link in the description. And for any athletes or entrepreneurs, or really just anybody who wants to operate at an elite level or take their progress to the next level, you can go ahead and message me on Instagram, and I'll get you into my mentorship program. We'll be able to work one-on-one to progress you towards your goals faster and easier and create systems in order for you to optimize for peak performance. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and click either of those two links, but if not, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and comment anything that you may have learned from the video. I'm always interested to see what you guys are learning. If you want to see more content like this, just press the subscribe button. But other than that, I am out of here. Peace.